Conquering Mount Scrapmore with Brenda. I'm Brenda, and today we're doing another episode of Blue Monday. Yay, it's Blue Monday. I'm so excited on Blue Mondays because I am working through my blue stash, my blue fabric, because my scraps, because I'm overwhelmed with blue. But when you're sewing along with me on this, you can use whatever color you want. You can also take these blocks and make an entire quilt out of them. So today, we're doing a block I'm calling Rodeo. So it's kind of like the little calves on the outside and the big cow and the bull riding in the middle, right? So this is going to be a fun block, and we're going to teach you how to do quarter square triangles today. The real easy, quick way. So before we get into this block, let's do our shout out because I will forget. Now, Tracy at Rope and Anchor Trading Company came on my radar here a little while ago. Now, we're filming this around the beginning of October, so you know, it's been a while since she's been on my radar. So you guys, she doesn't know the shout out is coming, so go surprise her and say, hi, Brenda from Conquering Mount Scrapmore sent us. And you know, if you like what you see there, share, like, and subscribe. And also share, like, and subscribe our channel too. That would help us out a lot, and we get the word out that we're providing you with free patterns. We're doing something a little different than what everybody else is doing, but that's okay. Now, it's really important you get into those show notes, because not only are you going to find Tracy's YouTube channel, you're also going to find the cutting instructions for this fast, easy, confident, beginner friendly block. So this is, you know, this is going to be a fast one today. But you also get that I speak for free. Now I have a I do a Zoom presentation. I have a PowerPoint that I talk about elements of design, working with scrap fabric or my fabric scraps, and making charity quilts, right? And I do give sneak peeks on what's coming up in the channel. So if your group is looking for any of those elements and they would like a speaker that come and do a presentation over Zoom, please put my name forward to your program director. I would love to speak with them. Also, the Chaos Sew Along is coming. I haven't got a firm date yet. We're trying to get lots of things done before we travel south, and it's just, so once we get the date, I'll put it in the show notes so you know when to mark it on your calendar. But it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's perfect to use up all those odds and sods of scraps that you've got. And you can throw any color at it that you want. So it's color and low volume. So if you've got lots of low volume scraps, you can throw those in there too. And the sizes are bigger, and the smallest subunit that is going to be is 4.5 inches unfinished, or 4.5 by 8.5 unfinished. So those are nice sizes, and you don't have to make a lot of blocks before you get a beautiful size quilt. Also, we have a Facebook group, and the link is in the show notes below. If you are part of the Facebook community and you want to join our group, please come look us up. We'll be happy to let you in. We're a warm, welcoming group, and we do all the same things other Facebook groups do, but we have several community chats. And we have a sewing room in Discord, right, that we host for the members of Facebook. So you have a sew date now 24/7, and the people that are going in there sewing, they're having such a good time. They get to meet people from all over the world, and you never know who you're going to sew with, but it's been really a lot of fun. Plus, we do other community chats like finding free patterns. We also do fabric exchanges by country, and the members are just having a really good time in there. Also, we have Zoom dates listed from now until the end of December. No, I have not looked at 2025 yet, but when I do, those dates are going to be in there too, so you can mark them in on your calendar. And if you don't feel like sewing those days that the Zoom sew date's on and you want to bring your crocheting, please do. It's a great place to come hang out. So anyways, I think we're done. Come on in. Let's get to the sewing of this fun block that I'm calling Rodeo. Okay, we are at the sewing machine, and the first thing I'm going to do is change out my foot, because I've done all my marking with my my magic wand, my little magic wand. So it's right here. You know, you do that, you know, you put it down and you mark halfway through. Yeah, so that's all been done. And we're making, the first thing we have to make here for this is the quarter square triangles, right? So we got this all lined up. Okay, where are we? Now I'm going to try and stay on this side of the line, not in the middle, but on this side. And that way everything is going to work out. Now for each one of these, you do one. You make 1/4 square triangle. And you're sitting there, but you only need one center. I know. This is perfect for larger scraps. And you could make this as scrappy as you wanted. And it would work out really great. Okay. We get to the end, and then we just pivot. Pull out just a little bit of thread. There we go. So this will be 6.5 unfinished when I'm done, both sides. Both of them will be 6.5 unfinished. And I've got these ones all marked, so we'll get all those done first. Get the hardest bits done first. Now, 1/4 square triangles are not hard, right? You just have to remember for every square you cut, you get 2, right? 2. So I'm only making 2 of these because I only need 4. So if you were doing a bunch of scrappy ones, you could do, you know, whatever you wanted, then keep mixing them up, right? Because this is a medium and a dark. These are medium and darks, and the rest are the 1/4 square triangles are medium and darks, and the rest is low volume or light. It's up to you. But yeah, they kind of work. They kind of works. Okay. There we go. Ooh. Okay. Okay. Here we go, and I'm just going to put this through like so. And now I'm going to take my scissors come out first. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut down the center of that seam, right? Because you got to get the two of them apart. And if you did a bunch of different like low volumes, or not low volume, mediums and darks, you could do a bunch of these and mix them all up too, right? So that's, you know, that would be good. There we go. And with the world's smallest scissor, we're going to cut down the middle of this. We could also cut these with a rotary cutter and a cutting mat, but this is what we got. Okay, so I am going to press to the dark, right? I'm just finger pressing this right along. And again, press to the dark. There. Now, how I line these up. If I line these up like this, nothing happens. Right? Nothing. So you got to line them up like this. Where you have the dark on top of the medium and the medium on top of the dark. And what you're going to do is you're going to nest that seam as close as you can to the middle, and I'm just going to pin it now to keep it in place. Okay, but this is what it's going to look like, right? There's your 1/4 square triangle. So now I'm going to go from edge to edge, and my magic wand doesn't go that far on this because it broke it. I broke my magic wand. So what I do is I line up 1/4 inch in on each direction, and I get my pencil and I just mark as best I can. And oops, there we go. And just mark the best you can on your thing. And now I measure 1/2 inch over from my line that I just drew, and I make the other mark. There. So that's how you can do this without a magic wand, right? You know, you just take your ruler and you just go for it, right? Okay, I'm gonna do those next. Now you want to make sure that this nest is nested well. So you just feel it just before you cross it. Now, there you go, over and down the other way. And it's nested well still, yeah. Okay. There we go. I'm just going to pull those. And again, we're pressing to the dark. These work out so well. Basically, it's your, your finished size, right, plus 1 1/4 inch, right? So anytime you want to do that, it's, basically that's how they do it. They decide ahead of time it's 1 1/4 inch. So that's when you're doing 1/4 square triangles. It's kind of a neat little ratio. My finished size plus 1 1/4 inch. So those squares that I cut are 4 1/4 because I wanted it to finish at 3. So there's one. Here's the other one. There. And I found some interesting sewing stuff for the blue. The dark blue. Okay, this has got to go out. This has got to come out of my stash. There we go. Make sure it nests well. Poke it in. Oops. Here. One side. Yeah, we're still nested. It's all good. Okay. Now we draw our line. And basically you want to put the center of the line right on where this meets, right? So that's, you're going to get then 2 equal halves. You have to be a little darker on the... And whatever you do, don't move your ruler. As I wobble and wiggle, don't move your ruler. No. Okay, there we go. Nice. There we go. So all of our lines are drawn. There. Now, I'm just going to do the same thing again. Go up and around. Now the additional 6.5 inch 1/4 square triangle that I'm making, because this one will create 2, I'm just going to put in my orphan blocks. So it's there for another quilt, another day, different little things. If I need a 6.5 inch orphan block, I've got one now. So that's going to be helpful. Okay. Yeah. There we go. Here. Here. So, now that this is finished, what we're going to do is we're going to assemble this just like, I'm going to do my cutting and all this stuff, but I'm going to change feet here right away. And we're just going to assemble it like an uneven 9 patch. And then you can see where the little calves are around and then the bull in the middle. The big one in the middle. Okay. There we go. There. Now this I always thought would look good in a quilt together, right, with sashing in between the blocks, and then put a little cornerstone in, because then all the calves, you don't have to worry about matching up all those seams with the little 1/4 square triangles. So that's kind of a fun way of doing it. So we only really have to worry about one of these. So I'm going to put the other one to the side, but I am pressing it. So this goes that way. Now I'm going to take him and swirl him in the back. Okay, so I got some cute AGF fabric here and a very vintage fun print. So that's what that's going to look like. Now I'm going to trim off my dog ear just real quick. A real quick trim. Don't get too crazy. All you're doing is removing bulk, right? That's all you're doing. So that goes in the center, right? And of course, our low volume goes around the center. And I found a really cool stripe, so I figured, okay, that's kind of the fence for our rodeo. Yeah, we had fun with this. We had some fun. So again, I swirl and trim. Trim off my ends. Trim off the little dog ears. There. There we go. And we can just lay these out. Okay. I'm going to push them all that way. Okay. Swirl and just finger press, you know, a little bit. There. And everything should fit together like a charm. And I, now, you can lay these all the same direction, right? I mean, I'll show you here in a sec. You can lay them all the same direction as the big, like the dark here, and then the dark here and here, right? I mean, so that they're all oriented the same way, or you can mix them up. It's up to you, right? Totally up to you. If you're deciding, okay, I'm going to do them all the same direction, then you have to make sure you're doing them all the same direction through. If you're making this into a block for all of your quilt, right, then they all should go the same way, right? But yeah, last one. Here we go. Okay. And because you're, you know, that's what I would do this. If I was going to do the block, like an entire quilt of this block, because you're going to have secondary patterns form as soon as you put sashing in a cornerstone of color, right? You're going to have a secondary pattern. If you throw all of them together without a sashing or cornerstone, what happens is you have to match now all of these points here, right on the edge. So let's assemble this now as a uneven 9 patch. Very quick assembly. Look at that. Everything just lines up. You know, just so perfect. It's like, wow. It's like I actually know what I'm doing. Oh my goodness. Oh, yeah. And on the outside edge, and this is a perfect way to do quarter square triangles, because on the outside edge, now everything is straight grain. So this looks perfect. You know, it'll sew together perfectly. It'll just everything about it will be great. Okay. Here we go. Yeah. Yeah. This is kind of a confident beginner, I guess. That's what I would call it, confident beginner. I mean, they're easy enough to do once you've had some practice. So this all lines up right way, right? Okay, so let's start here. Oops, I lost. And it twisted around and all this other stuff. Danced around. Okay, here we go. Okay. And yeah, I have been very fortunate to get all these lovely donations from people to help me make charity quilts. And now I'm sitting here like, wow. All right. I'm overrun with blue because blue is actually the most favorite color, and the manufacturers print more blue fabric than anything else, right? This blue is beloved by, you know, a lot of people. I mean, a lot of people like blue, or, you know, so that's part of it. Now, I'm just gonna open that up just like so, right? And I'm gonna get rid of the board because it's now in my way. So now the bulk is making this block go this way, this top, and the bulk is making this bottom go out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press this so it goes out, out from the big block, because that's just the way it wants to lay. And this goes in from the outside corners. And then your whole block will mess. And the reason it's doing that is because there's bulk here right in the corner, right in the tip of that corner. So let's get this all sewn. And that's why I say you might as well just go with it. And if that's the way it really wants to go, okay, let it. Just let it. It's fine. Just let it. Okay, match it up. Make sure you got a good nest going. Yes, we do. There. Okay. Get this all nested. There we go. Oh, make sure I've got it nested. Yes, I do. Still do. And just like that. There. That's one seam going the other way. Okay. Why is this coming undone all the time? Okay. The other side. And I'm just going to sew it with the bigger bottom. Bigger piece on the bottom. Now as I get started, make sure the needle is in the down position so I don't wobble and wiggle out of position. And then I make sure I have a good nest on that corner. Now, there is a small little intersection here where the seam goes this way and the seam goes that way. You want to stay on this side of that seam intersection so you don't sew off your point. Okay, that's another important thing to do. Does not sew off your point. You had to work to get those points. You don't want to be sewing them off now. Okay. And again. There. Okay. Now. Okay, I'm going to give this a very, very quick finger press and I'll show you exactly now how this is all going to go. See, this is going to go this way out. Now, this might push in, so I want to make sure I give it a good press so I don't have issues with it. Now, what happens is I swirl, oh, this thing needs ironing. Okay, I swirled my pieces here, right, to get the quarter square triangle to lay flat. Then I worked with these pieces got pushed in. These ones got pushed out, but wow, I don't know if I can, no, that's not going to work. So I'm going to be using my clapper to get this to be pushed out, right? These got pushed out as well, and it's because of all the bulk in this corner, right? So we're going to be using our clapper on this when we're ironing it just to get these seams really flat. Okay, so let me give it a good press and let's get back to that ta-da moment. Okay, so here we are with our ta-da moment on Rodeo, right? The big quarter square triangle is in the center and all the little ones are around the outside. It's just, I thought, okay, and we got the striped fabric, you know, because I thought, okay, we'll put all this together and what does it look like? It looks like a little rodeo with little calves and a great big buck or a bull, right, where the bull tries to buck you off. But anyways, bull riding, that's the word I was looking for. But anyways, I do hope you give this a try. Now, it does make two large ones, this cutting. So this one is 6.5 inches unfinished, right? Or finished at 6 inches. So you can make this up into a quilt very quickly. Do trim because of sewing issues. Sometimes people have sewing issues, or their seams are a little bit too scant or a little bit too chubby or whatever. Make sure this finishes, or it measures 6.5 unfinished when you finish that triangle. Otherwise, you might need to trim it, trim off a little bit extra if your seams are too skinny. And the same with these, need to be 3.5 inch square unfinished when you're done. So you might want to try trimming them just to make sure everything lines up good. But yeah, this one was fun to do, and we do have some, you know, you can play around with this and make this as scrappy as you want. It'd be so much fun. Anyways, I hope you have an absolutely splendid week ahead and life is treating you very gently. Okay, you take care until we see each other again. Okay, bye! Hello again. We just want to thank you for enjoying our video and, you know, coming along with my husband and my YouTube adventure and quilting. And, you know, sometimes things don't work out as best they should, and sometimes they work out great. We're going, wow, that went well. But it's been an amazing journey, and I'm so glad I could share it with you. Share, like, and subscribe these videos. That really helps us out, and it helps us make more charity quilts. Okay, so you guys take care until we have a chance to meet again. Okay, bye.